Well, hello all. Hello all. Thanks for being with me this evening. I was actually going to run live tomorrow morning and about this. I heard about it hours ago. Good morning. Good morning. Say what? Hi, ride or die. Hey guys. Hey, thanks for being here. So I was going to run with this tomorrow morning. I may not go live tomorrow morning, so decided to go ahead and discuss this now as one of the original protesters in front of, Brian Laundrie's home. Gabby Petito, we fought very hard for her. We continued to fight very hard for her long after Brian was found. We ran a lot of stories. We still have content that was never brought to light related to this case. And quite frankly, it has always bothered me. This case has always disturbed me, primarily the Dirty Laundrie parents, because we always believed they knew more than they ever said they knew. We sat out there for many weeks with the neighbors. We had an opportunity to canvass the neighborhood, speak to other neighbors, speak to the stuff that went on there in the house. And, we knew a lot more than the average person watching mainstream media because we were there every single day. We were talking with major news reporters, Mike Ruiz with Fox News. We were with Brian Inton on a daily basis, know him very, very well on a personal level. Many of these people, are a team member of ours still communicates with to this day. So this case is very near and dear to my heart. Um, and it's just, I feel that Gabby's family never received justice on this case. I really believe that they never truly received justice. And that's my problem with this entire thing. Because, we heard from the neighbors that Chris Laundrie was out there helping um, Brian clean the van after he returned. And that was one of the points of our um, the reason for part of our protest, because the parents let him get away. They waited 3 days before they called law enforcement to let them know that he was not there. They went and picked up his car from Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park and still never called him in missing until September 17th. These parents hung up the phone on Gabby Petito's family when they were calling, just trying to find out where their daughter was. The What these Dirty Laundrie parents did was the most despicable, inhumane thing you could do to another person. How they treated the Schmidt and Petito family was absolutely deplorable and disgusting. I am not going to apologize, nor have I ever apologized for protesting in front of their home. We told them on multiple occasions if they cooperated with law enforcement, we would leave. We would leave. We told them many, many, many times that we would just leave. They didn't want to. They didn't care. They didn't care about Gabby Petito whenever she left or wasn't found. When they were looking for her in Wyoming, they chose to pack up and go to Fort DeSoto and go camping, supposedly, with Brian and his sister. We were the protesters that got Cassie Laundrie out of her house and speaking. We did that. And now, after being called so many despicable names, calling the Dirty Laundrie parents victims, those despicable people victims. Again, just like the Wells, like people call them victims. They're not victims. They're not victims in this. They never have been the victim. They never have been the victim, folks. I am very happy that the Schmidt and Petito family have chose to move forward in this respect. I'm very happy about that because you know what? They deserve justice. What we heard tonight on the news was that some of this information was disclosed in that notebook that they found, near Brian's body. And just kudos to them. Kudos to them. They deserve justice. They're the true victims in this whole thing, not those despicable people that have ice and charcoal running through their veins. I hope that the Petito family takes these people for everything that they have, whatever they have left. They sold a few properties. Yes, we did a deep dive into them too when we were out there. They sold a couple properties months before Brian Laundrie, a couple $100,000 they were able to acquire, yet they bounced a check for that camper that they got. And I keep wondering, did they get that before or after they knew? And I kept asking over and over again, did they get that camper topper before or after they knew Gabby was murdered? We watched their, we marked Brian's movements from Wyoming back to Florida. And Jonathan could not equate for 75 hours. And it makes me wonder, did Brian stop off? And we've said this before. Did he stop off to New York to see his attorney before he made it back to Florida? I've always wondered that. I've always wondered that. What happened to Gabby should never happen to another person. But what was more despicable, the insult to injury, is what Brian Laundrie's parents did to Gabby Petito's family. And yeah, Saint Patrick, happy St. Patrick. Yeah, they bounced the check for that camper. He ended up having to go pay like $6,000 or $7,000 cash to cover that check. But we made friends with a lot of the neighbors around there. We talked to primarily one that was directly across the street. They let us camp out in front of their house every morning. We were there. We were there all day long. We protested every hour on the hour for 5 minutes every single day. It was so hot out there. Sometimes some of those days reached 100 degrees, and every hour on the hour, we were out there for 5 minutes, begging and pleading with the Laundrie parents to quit being cowards and help law enforcement find their son. And they refused. They hid in their house like cowards. They hid in their house like cowards. They were cowards. They are cowards. They didn't hold their son responsible for any of his behavior. This was long before they ever went on their, Gabby and Brian went on their trip. There is no way that those parents didn't see what Brian Laundrie was doing to Gabby Petito long before they ever hit the road. When they hit the road, he started spiraling out of control because he finally had Gabby to himself alone, and he could do whatever he wanted to her. And she didn't last very long out on the road with him. So anyways, we heard in the notebook, it sounds like he may have confessed. According to Spectrum Bay News 9, that in the notebook, it may have contained some information that he told his family the day after he killed Gabby. The day after. I want you guys to let that sink in your head. The day after. There is no good reason why those parents, you want to give your son an attorney, that's fine. But why would you hang up the phone on the parents that are desperately seeking information about their daughter? Why? Thank you. Thank you, love. This case here struck me to the core. It hurt. This is the hardest case I think I've ever had to do. And remember, this is the case that gave me my name, Bullhorn Betty. This case right here, Gabby Petito. This is how I acquired that name. This is how I acquired that nickname. So this is beyond personal. You guys don't know those signs out in front of her house at her memorial. I have at my home. Her memorial that we had just set up a few days before Northport threw them in a dumpster. I went dumpster diving for them. They're still displayed in the front yard of my home. There is not one day that goes by that I don't wake up and pay respect and honor to Gabby Petito for her sacrifice. But she brought awareness to a lot of people in this country to what domestic violence really is. Many of you know she was in Moab and told the officers basically she was the aggressor. She almost was put in jail. She was almost put in jail. People attacked her and victim shamed her over that. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that. Attacked her and victim shamed her, calling her horrible, horrible names. And here that whole time it was Dirty Laundrie. Anyways, without further ado, I'm going to just play. I don't know what's on this one. I watched Bay News 9. I can't find the Bay News 9 one that was aired. I can't. So I'm gonna play this one. So just bear with me. I'm gonna bring the screen up, and we're just going to play it.
Now back to that big development in the Gabby Petito case. News Channel 8 has discovered a lawsuit filed by Petito's family against the parents of Dirty Laundrie, claiming now the family knew their son murdered 22-year-old Petito. The suit also alleges that his parents were planning to help him leave the country. We want to bring back in JB Buno, our digital anchor from WFLA Now. He's live in the newsroom at our stream center. So, JB, you looked through this. You first discovered these documents. Any other bombshells that stuck out to you when you went through the listing? A lot, Josh, to tell you the truth. We had a lot of big bombshell allegations that were made, but it's important to point out that these are allegations and there's no evidence within this. But a couple of points to point out that Gabby Petito, according to Gabby Petito's family, also died of blunt force trauma in addition to manual strangulation. That's, again, alleged by the family itself. And then also, too, you remember in early September, Nicole Schmidt speaking to the world, asking and pleading with the Laundrie family for information. Nicole Schmidt is now alleging in this lawsuit that she was blocked on Facebook and on her phone by Dirty Laundrie's mother, Roberta Laundrie. Again, just allegations that are coming to light in this lawsuit filed in Sarasota County Court.
Right, but so many people fascinated by this case. I know we have covered this from the very beginning. If you read through this lawsuit, this is what's shocking to me. It's as though the Petitos are suggesting the Laundries were accessories in this case. But does it indicate what the Petito family is specifically trying to gain from filing this lawsuit?
Yeah, they're filing a civil lawsuit and seeking monetary compensation in an amount of $100,000 or more. And they are seeking a jury trial as far as the categorization of this lawsuit in Sarasota County Court. They want a jury to hear evidence that they likely have ready to present here in Sarasota County Court. When that is expected to happen is really unclear at this time.
Very interesting. Now, we know that the Laundrie attorney, Stephen Bertolino, he's been quite vocal throughout this entire case from the very beginning. What's he saying about this lawsuit?
Yeah, Josh, I'm grabbing my phone because he just shot me a text a few minutes ago with a response. He originally said no comment, but now he's saying, assuming everything the Petitos allege in their lawsuit is true, which we deny, the lawsuit doesn't change the fact that the Laundries had no obligation to speak to law enforcement and that this fundamental legal principle renders the Petitos' claims to be baseless under the law. We've got all this for you on WFLA.com, the WFLA app. We're also live right now on YouTube and the WFLA website and app, where we're kind of breaking down more of the allegations in this lawsuit.
All right, JB Buno live for us in the newsroom. JB, thanks so much. We'll have continuing coverage, as he said, on WFLA.com, and check out our News Channel 8 app as well.
I went to United Vein Center.
I went to United Vein Center.
Let me get this out. So their position is it's allegations. My position is they better reach out to the neighbors, because there's a lot of information that those neighbors across the street from the Laundrie parents, the Dirty Laundrie house, the house of horrors, there's a lot of information that they have. They were able to confirm with me the time and date that Brian actually left his house for the final time. On the 13th, the 14th, I can't remember. I got to look at my notes. It's been a while and I'm not home. So guys, this is horrific. What the Laundrie parents did. And I hope they get I hope they win their case. I really do. They deserve justice, and they have never once got justice. And part of that justice that they seek is those parents. And I have proclaimed many times that they are an accessory after the fact, that they have obstructed justice. And it was very upsetting when the FBI closed the case. It was very upsetting to me, knowing all that I knew. And there's no way I would know this without law enforcement knowing this. And they still gave them a free pass. Well, the burden of proof in a civil suit is much lower than the burden of proof in a criminal suit. So they very well may have. No, the 17th is when they actually, when he was actually reported missing. When he actually reported missing, they picked up his car on the 15th. So I believe it was the 13th or the 14th. I got to go back and look at my notes. It's been quite a while since I looked at this case. But you got to remember, we interviewed Dick's Sporting Goods. We went to stuff or in and around their house. We talked to their neighbors. Jonathan actually has an interview with one of the neighbors on the back side of the road, which was across the street from that crazed lunatic that attacked Jonathan and me verbally. He attacked me verbally and hit the side of my head. But at the end of the day, they pointed us over there because that gentleman had cameras. And although we knocked on his door to talk to him about the Petito case, to find out if Brian Laundrie did in fact walk by his cameras, he was not there. And don't know why he decided to attack Jonathan for simply going up to his door, but he did. And he was held responsible for that. You can't attack people for going and knocking on your door, especially 3 days later in front of God and everybody. You just can't. So I'm still here in South Carolina. I have to tell you, what a great day. Many of you know that this is more of a leisure. And I told you guys that I was coming out here for, to see friends and political reasons, which I don't bring to this page or channel. We were able to do some work out here in South Carolina. We went to Myrtle Beach and we started looking into the statistics. Many people had said that there was a lot of, sex trafficking and things like that in this area. And it was the epidemic, the national epicenter of the sex trafficking. We found that it was not necessarily true. It is the epicenter here in South Carolina, but not the epicenter in the United States. We also, interestingly enough, and I just got it downloaded onto my computer, I've got to delete the stuff off my phone, was Pee Wee, oh geez, why can't I, it's getting late for me. Pee Wee, what the heck was his name? Why can't I think? Gaskins. Geez, Louise. Pee Wee Gaskins. So every time we go out, anytime I personally go anywhere, either for leisure or otherwise, I always find work. There's work in the line of business that we work in. There is work everywhere. We can always find a case to report on. We can always find something to do. And yes, thank you, Stephanie. Justice for Gabby and her family. And, we do have our protest out there, and that's what we chanted: justice for Gabby, justice for all victims of domestic violence. And we also scream, the only victims here is Gabby and Gabby Petito's family. And that holds true today. So we really do hope and pray for Gabby's family. And we hope and pray for justice to be had, finally to be had. I want those Laundrie parents to go down. They deserve to go down. They knew a lot more than they said that they knew. They lied to the world. They hid behind attorneys like cowards. They deserve just desserts. And I hope that they finally get it. Absolutely. And another thing is, we had millions of dollars in searching for that man. Millions. The best of the best looking for him. Yet the Laundrie parents were able to go right out there, and in less than half an hour, less than 30 minutes, probably about 15, right about 15, 20 minutes, they were able to finally put an end to this charade. Don't tell me they didn't know. Don't tell me that. They knew. They knew the whole time. They knew what their son did. They knew where their son was. They held all the answers, and they didn't give a damn about Gabby or the suffering her family was going through. They didn't care. They are evil. They are evil people. And I hope that, I truly do. I hope Gabby Petito and her family are able to seek justice. I really do. But if they are watching, check with the neighbors. You will find out a lot of information. It will help your claim. And I tell you what, they want those parents gone out of their neighborhood just as quickly as they moved in. And believe me, they will be willing to help you any way that they can. So I do pray for them. So, anyways, I'm going to be rolling out with Pee Wee Gaskin. Well, I have a lot, right? I have a lot. We've been following a lot of serial killers in and around the United States. We went over Colehep. We did Ted Bundy in Lake City. We did Billy Mansfield in Pasco County, and we are covering Pee Wee Gaskin here in Prospect County, or Prospect. I don't know if this is county. It's Florence County, Prospect, which is an area in Florence County. And just very pleased with the progress. I hope to get all this together. And aiding and abetting. Thank you, Susan. That's good as well. So I know I'm kind of a little all over the place here. It's just that Gabby Petito, the whole scenario with her breaks my heart. It breaks my heart each and every time. It breaks my heart each and every time I have to walk out of my house and see her memorial in my front yard. It is weathering. I have to say it is weathering. That the letters that spelled out Gabby are starting to look rough. So they are wood. So I'm probably going to do something with those to freshen them up. I'm not quite sure what yet, but something is going to come down the pike. I will make sure that once that is completed and done, I will let you know. Hi, Ronnie. Hi, everybody. And Angela, Carson, thank you. But yes, we are rooting for Gabby Petito and Gabby Petito's family. They deserve justice tonight. I hope they seek it in the near future. I'm very thrilled to see them going after them in a civil suit, which I had proposed or thought that they were going to be doing, because again, the burden of proof is much lower in a civil case than it is in a criminal case, and they are making all the right moves at all the right times. And I do believe over time, with the evidence that we were able to acquire, that they can also acquire, will help them seek justice for their daughter against these horrible, lousy parents. It would not surprise me, and this is just my opinion, that Brian's parents said, you know what, you have, and you know what, there was always that money. We always knew about that money, that $20,000 that they were trying to get back for their son. Their son was broke. Their son was living off of Gabby. Where did that money come from? Where did that money come from? We've got to think about these things. There is a lot to be said that happened, and I truly do believe that they did try to aid and abet their son. And even though they may not be required to speak, it is against the law to help clean out a vehicle. It is against the law to help a felon escape justice. It is against the law to obstruct justice. They lied, they connived, and I hope that is brought to light. And thank God they're going to ask for a trial jury. That was very, very smart. Instead of leaving it into one person's hands, now a jury, people with emotions, people with feelings, people that can understand what happened will get to decide the fate of this case. I hope it would be in the best interest of the Laundrie parents to admit that they were wrong and settle this case and stop any more pain to Gabby Petito's family at the hands of another Laundrie. Anyways, Just sad stuff. Things get to me. Just, these cases wear me down sometimes. They really do. It's really, you know what? And I am so sick and tired of people thinking that just because somebody goes to jail, and just like Gabby Petito would have gone to jail that day in Moab, makes them not a victim of domestic violence. It's sick. People that have that mentality don't understand, don't care, or don't look at the facts. So without all that said, I'm going to call it a night. I hope you guys all have a blessed evening and a wonderful weekend. Again, I'm not probably going to go live until Monday. I hope all of you guys are there for the coffee club. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We will keep you guys posted on Gabby Petito. Again, this is the perspective of one of the original protesters out in front of Gabby Petito's old home, the Dirty Laundries, the House of Horrors. And we will always honor Gabby Petito. We will always show respect to Gabby Petito's family. And at the end of the day, I hope the Dirty Laundrie parents rot in hell. With that, good day.